Hey, what's up, my beautiful people? It's your boy Devo, so motivational, back with another day trading QQQ recap. Real quick, as always, I'm gonna say thank you all for all the likes, the comments, subscribes. Thank you everybody sticking with me through the journey. I appreciate every single one of y'all. Every single one of y'all mean a lot to me because this is a journey. We're going from unprofitable to profitable. Of course, we're not one of these already profitable traders who making thousands of dollars each trade. So that's why I really appreciate every single one of y'all who are with me on the journey currently to get profitable. Okay, and let's get straight into it. So today we have a packed one. We have a very good one. Plus 430 bucks on the day. Our biggest trade on YouTube. Not our biggest trade ever, but our biggest trade winner on YouTube, and we're feeling very stoked. Why? Because yesterday we ended up losing two trades that put us negative on the week, and today we just made all of that back. Not with a revenge trade, not with over leverage, just with a good quality trade that ended up like falling and going absolutely our way with again a good quality trade, not over leverage, normal position size, very good setup, very good trade, very good technicals, and it just went our way, and that was a $430 winner, wiping our loss away yesterday because we had two trades yesterday. We lost. I'm gonna go over those real quick, and as well putting us back positive on the week with up $301. So just 300 bucks on the week, and we are feeling good. Okay, so let's go into yesterday's trades real quick. Okay, oh man, it's gonna be. I deleted my, but I remember. So I deleted my drawings. Okay, so this is gonna be a little tricky one. I gotta find exactly where. Okay, so on the first trade, we had these highs up here. I believe it actually was on the SPY. Yes, my first trade yesterday was on the SPY. We were shooting up, right? We broke through all liquidity zones. I'm just gonna go through them quick. I'm not gonna break them down too much, but we broke through all these liquidity zones, right? All these liquidity highs, and I was like, man, well now we're under this resistance. Maybe because we're pumping so hard. Maybe we want to trend upwards and break this little resistance. Why? Because it's like a little support, and then we ended up falling through. So now this would be like a little resistance. I was like, okay, maybe we can break through that resistance and head up for the highs because QQQ actually created new highs, but on the SPY we were far from the highs actually. And so where did I take my first trade at? I'm gonna go to the 5 minute. Oh my goodness. So in the 5 minute, I believe, yep, because we had up, down, pull back to the fair value gap, break a structure again, pull back into this fair value gap right here. And that's where I had my first trade. Where was it? Long position. Bam. 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 That was my first position. Boom. Price actually just absolutely tanked against me. Actually, that's not even the trade. Is that the trade? That's not the trade. Okay, my beautiful people. Sorry about that. Yeah, that's the wrong trade. Right here. Bam. Right there. Sorry about that, my beautiful people. That's why I don't really like going over the past trades because it's kind of hard to get them, especially when I don't have the drawings there no more. I delete the drawings. So it's like this. Boom. Fair value gap. Touch the fair value gap. I was up a little bit, and then boom. Absolutely just. So this is where the market's been getting annoying. Why? And actually, we're pumping a lot on the SPY. All right, we had this huge tank, and now we're pumping a lot on the SPY. Qs, we're still far down. But on the SPY, we're heading upwards. Right? So that's a weird trend, right? Because on the SPY, we're pumping up, absolutely pumping up. But look at the Qs price. Absolutely tanked. So I'm glad that we traded the Qs. That's why we've really been liking the Qs lately. Why? Because they've been having the big moves up and down. But why it's kind of hard to trade right now is because literally the market is flying up with no pullbacks and then just tanking down, or tanking down then flying up, and it's getting annoying, right? So my first trade was at this fair value gap. Boom, got stopped out. It was two contracts minus 76 bucks. Let me pull it up because I don't remember exactly the amount. Let me pull it up for you guys. Okay, boom, on the first trade minus 106 bucks. We were already up $173. So that put us only up on $67 on the week, right? And then fell all the way down, right? And I was like, okay, it just was just falling. There was no pullback again for us to take out these lows, right? We were looking for entries downwards, just no types of entries. And so I was like, okay, well, we fell all the way down here. We have lows down here. Boom. I was like, okay, we have all these lows down here we could want to take out. Because with a huge tank like that, I was like, okay, we can take out all these lows. Because these are a bunch of equal lows. And as we know, these lows right here have been... Okay, no. Maybe on the... Sorry about that. My second trade was on the Qs. Oh my goodness. I know, guys, I'm everywhere, but it's kind of hard to remember a trade from the previous day. Yeah, we have these dead equal lows. Yes, this is where I was at. We have these dead equal lows that I was thinking we can come get, right? We had these right here. Boom. And we fell all the way down, right? Okay, so we fell all the way down. My second trade was, my goodness, my good people. Okay, we have these lows right here. My trade was over here. My second trade, so this one, going over it, it probably wasn't the best trade. Why? Because we overshot this 5-minute gap, and we had all of this up here, which I was looking for an entry up here, but it kept breaking down. Right? And this is where I was kind of stuck. So we had a downtrend, and then this, debating if this is a little pause or a pullback. This is technically just a little retracement, not an actual pullback. But so that's where I feel like I messed up at. I had this fair value gap right here. I scaled down to my 1 minute. It overshot it in my 5 minute, but on my 1 minute, we had this fair value gap right here. Boom, touched that fair value gap. This is where I got in at. 2 contracts again with my stop like this. Bam, I wanted on top of these right here. And then I wanted to target right here. So about a 2-to-1. Almost came my way again. This was a long trade. I'm talking about I was in this trade for about 3 hours, from about 10 o'clock to about 1 o'clock. Boom, came all the way up, stopped us out, and that was minus $192. Why was it such a big loser? So earlier in the day, when it came all the way up and tested kind of my stop loss, I was minus $130. So if we were gonna come stop me out, I was like, okay, that'll be minus about $150. That's more than what I want. But I was like, okay, it shouldn't be too big of a loser. But since the trade was so long and it took so long to play out, excuse me, my good people. Okay. Since the trade took so long to play out, I believe my options started kind of decaying in value. And so when it came and stopped me out right around here, that's when I lost $192. So just on the day, I was down $298 just on yesterday's day. And that was very heartbreaking. That was very demoralizing. That was very I was like, ugh, man, taking that loss. I was like, ugh, I was doing good, I was up $173 on the week. I was feeling good. I was just feeling good. My loss on almost, I have a good little way of profitability, but it's just going down. The minus is just going down, and it was just chopping down, and I was feeling good, right? And then boom, and now we're back, and now we're minus $124 on the week because we lost $298 yesterday, and we were already up 173. So 298 minus 173, down $125. So we were down $125 on the week. With this trade stopping us out. Okay, now let's go to the good part. Let's go to the parts that we actually remember, right? Today. So what was I looking at today? I was like, okay, I'm gonna make that money back today. I was like, I'm not worried about yesterday. I'm gonna make that money back. Not by revenge trading, not by over leveraging, throwing 8 contracts in, but by getting a good quality trade, letting my winner run, and just winning trades and focusing on winning trades. And I was like, maybe I might have to get base hit, but I'm going to be not maybe not make all my money back today, but on the week I'm going to at least be break even or I'm going to be positive on the week. That was my mindset, right? And I was like, okay, what was I looking at yesterday? So we're starting to have this little uptrend, right? We're in a downtrend with this down area, with this downswing, but we're trending upwards, right? So we have a low, high, lower high, low, high. Okay, sorry. A low, high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, because it touches fair value gap, and broke structure again, higher high, higher low, touches fair value gap. And what we started today, we actually gapped up, and no, we didn't gap up. We started up. Where did we start at? Jeez. Okay, yeah, we actually did gap up, and we started off at this 556 area, pumped up, creating equal highs. So I was like, okay, I like that. If we're gonna pump up, what do I want to see? I want to see us hold this fair value gap. Why? Because this is our last higher low, right? High, low, lower high, lower low, because it touches fair value gap, higher high, and then higher low, right? So I was like, okay, now we created equal lows when we're down here. I was like, okay, we could sweep this, but if we sweep it and start trending upwards, what do I want to see for us to have a confirmation for the uptrend? This is where I go to my 1 minute, because that's a big 5-minute candle, so you have 1 minute fair value gaps. Like, okay, run through my highest bearish fair value gap right here. Run through that fair value gap. If we run through that fair value gap, give a fair value gap to the bullish side, give me that pullback to that fair value gap, boom, I'm going to run it upwards like this. So we would have ran through this bearish fair value gap, created a bullish fair value gap. We would have had some type of, let me delete that now. We would have ran through that fair value gap, right? Just a drawing out. Then we would have created a bullish fair value gap. Pull back to that bullish fair value gap, and then boom. That's what I was looking for. If we wanted to sweep this out, run back up, take out these fair value gaps, make a bullish fair value gap, and then I was targeting these highs, right? And that's what it somewhat would have been, something like that. So we didn't do that. We absolutely tanked. Started tanking. I was like, okay, that's nice. That's beautiful. Okay, so what I want to see, we absolutely started tanking. We fell through these lows, change of character. Took out this fair value gap, change of character. Because we have a lower high, a higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. We ran through this higher low. So now we have a change of character. And now what am I looking for? So that was already planned out. I was like, okay, if I have that, Jesus Christ. Let me just stop drawing. Okay, I was like, okay, if I have that change of character, I want to target these lows. I have some more equal lows down here, and then we have this low down here, right? So okay, this is my first TP. I want to see how it breaks through that TP. If it breaks through that TP, creates another equal low like, okay, let me just stay on the first part. So we broke through change of character, right? Okay, now we have this big 5-minute candle. Now in my 1 minute, I scale down. Okay, now I have a fair value gap in my 1 minute, and this is beautiful. Why is this beautiful? Because we have this beautiful 1 minute fair value gap, as well as that was the break of structure. Oh my goodness, can I not delete stuff no more? Okay, as well, let me delete this. I'm just trying to delete all these drawings. Okay. So I have this bearish fair value gap as well as a break of structure. So my stop loss is right here. I have such a small stop loss. So that's why I was so excited and so like, oh, this is a perfect trade, right? But what did I have at first? TP right here. That's still a 3-to-1, right? So 3 contracts in for this bearish fair value gap. Why? Because there's a change of character. Boom, break of structure. 5-minute, a big 5-minute red candle. So you scale down in your 1 minute. Now you have a 1 minute fair value gap. Touch my 1 minute fair value gap, and I waited. Boom, this candle started breaking down. I got in the middle of this red candle. Boom, I just went to my 5 minute, let it play out. Look, it just touched another 5 minute fair value gap, so now it's giving a little reaction. We'll see if it breaks structure. So what did it do? Boom, started breaking down. Boom, took out these equal lows and broke down hard. What did it do? It wicked up hard, but I stayed in. I stayed in. Why? Because it just created equal lows again, because we have equal lows right here. Boom, created more equal lows. Beautiful. I'm staying in my trade. I'm waiting for that equal low to get caught out. Took out. Boom, broke through those equal lows. What did it do? It created dead equal lows again. I stayed in for that one again. Then, bam. Okay, number drawings. Bam, broke all the way through. Beautiful. When it started falling through, when I seen a little bit of wick, boom, caught my trade. And that was up $426. $426, and we were feeling good. Why? Because it was such a beautiful trade, so beautiful. 3 contracts, 115% on our contracts, just so beautiful because it followed our setup, it followed our strategy. An A plus setup. This was an A plus setup. Followed everything. There was no over leverage. Beautiful setup. No FOMO. No nothing. Just beautiful execution, and it broke all the way through. When it started to wick up just the slightest, called my trade. So I bought my contracts for, I believe, $330 something, and I sold them for $795. Ended up profiting $426, and now I'm erasing that loss yesterday, and now being up $301 on the week. Okay, so we're feeling really good on that one. And honestly, that's pretty much it. I mean, that was the trade for yesterday. Our 2 trades of yesterday that we lost. Not the best setup. It was, we were iffy on the setup, but we took it, because we had these lows down here. We felt with the strong power. We were iffy on if this is a pause or a little pullback, because it is technically a retracement, but then it broke structure again. But it's technically just a little retracement. We could have pulled back. We needed to fill these, and I knew it, and that's why it wasn't an A plus setup, and it took us out, and we didn't let one trade take us out of the game or make us negative on the week, right? We took 2 trades, and that second one is what really messed us up. And we were down $124 on the week, and today we just had the A plus setup, A plus execution, A plus entry, A plus position size. Honestly, I wish we would have threw more position size in there, because that would have been a bigger winner. But no, I don't, because that was a good one with good position size and good everything, like I keep saying. So that is very good. What am I looking for now? So that was $426. I caught it at the very bottom. It broke through all the TPs, right? I was like, okay, if it breaks through this one with authority, it broke it with authority, created this strong wick. But I was like, okay, it created equal lows again. I like my chances of holding it and for it to break it. Broke through again. This one didn't even create a strong wick, right? It just created dead equal lows again and broke through strongly. Boom, boom, boom. And that was all 3 take profits. If there was more like equal lows, there's equal lows way down here. You have some equal lows way down here, but that is kind of reaching, right? Because that is a far drop, and that's kind of reaching, you know what I'm saying? But what am I looking for? So if we get some type of reaction off of these 5-minute fair value gaps or something, and we break structure again to the downside, give another pullback to another fair value gap around here, I will be targeting these equal lows again, right? It'll be something like this with a fair value gap that broke structure to the downside 5-minute, and it would give a pullback, and then boom, I'll be doing this. It'd be like literally the same exact setup. Why? Because we have equal lows, and then we have these equal lows that are equal lows from a while, right? Okay, maybe not. Okay, sorry. Yeah, these are the equal lows that are like ultimate equal lows down here. This is just kind of a down to the swing, right? But these are like ultimate equal lows I feel we eventually will take. I don't know when, but eventually. But that is kind of my thought process. If we want to break structure again, I'll get in at that bearish fair value gap to head towards these equal lows, see how it breaks down, and then maybe these equal lows right here, right? And so that is it for the day. Let me see what I didn't even look at what data we had come out today. Let's see what data we had come out today. Today is Thursday. We had initial jobless claims actually came out better than expected, better than previous. Continuing jobless claims came in actually higher than previous, so that's not very good. Consensus was Came out better than consensus. Jobless claim 4 week average came out better than previous. So we had some good data. Had some pretty good data. Tomorrow, what data are we gonna have? Tomorrow we don't really have any data, so tomorrow's just gonna be another W day. I already believe it. We're gonna be smart about it. We're not gonna try to give any of our profits. If anything, we're gonna try to increase our winner on the week. Okay. But that is pretty much it. I broke down everything for you guys on how I won this trade, how I it wasn't a gamble, how some people want to say I'm gambling, how some people want to say I don't have no strategy. I show you the strategy every single day. Through my loses, I lost big yesterday, right? I made it all back and some more, and now I'm up $300 in a week, right? And we're feeling very good. Tomorrow, what are we gonna do? We're not gonna go in like, okay, we won $400 yesterday. Let's make $400 again. No, we're gonna manage our position size. We might honestly lower our position size to make sure we don't put ourselves at more risk to lose that money, right? We might honestly trade 1 or 2 contracts. I might not even do 3 tomorrow, right? And so we're just gonna take it slow, but we're gonna keep chopping at it, and we're gonna try to make some more money tomorrow. Try to have another winner tomorrow, and keep following the process. Keep doing what is working. Keeping ourselves in the game, and not letting our emotions get the best of us. Recently, we haven't let our emotions get the best of us. I don't feel like yesterday again was the best trade. It wasn't the best trade, right? But today I had such a good trade. Not just because it was a winner. I don't want you guys to think yesterday wasn't a good trade just because it was a loser. No, that's not the case, because this one right here, we were already extended. Like, we were already extended, so it wasn't the best setup. Even though we lost, that doesn't mean it. That's not why it wasn't the best setup. It wasn't the best setup because we were already so far extended upwards, right? On the downside, it wasn't the best trade to set up. Why? Because we were already so much extended downwards. But on this one, we had the exact change of character, right? When we changed of character, we had that fair value gap in our 1 minute, big 5 minute candle. So this is why it just gave us such a good entry, because sometimes it just tanks, right? Like, it just ran up, just tanks. But this one, it actually gave us the pullback right after the change of character, which let us get our entry in just such a good setup, okay? But that is pretty much it. I don't want to hold up you guys' time. I love every single one of y'all sticking with me journey. Remember, guys, to persistent, passionate, make sure I get paid, all right? Peace.